I'm back. Hello, boys and girls. Look, it's your favourite grumpy granny from Groggy's Patch. Well, I know. I've been gone for a while. Why was I gone, you may ask? Well, there were some things going on. So what happened was I got COVID. No, yes, to start with, I got COVID, which I didn't do too badly on, which then gave me a respiratory infection. And that then unfortunately turned into pneumonia. And the doctor gave me antibiotics for it. And those antibiotics were not at all effective. So 2 weeks later, I'm still crook as a dog, dying in bed, unable to hardly do any work. Can't live stream, can't do anything or make videos for you guys because I was so sick. And finally, I had to go back after 2 weeks, and they actually gave me a second lot of antibiotics, which were different antibiotics, far more suitable for pneumonia, and that helped. And after about 3 weeks, I finally started to get well. I still wasn't making videos at that stage because honestly, after being sick for that long, I looked like death warmed up, and I still felt very weak and run down and looked like absolute crap. So that wasn't going to work. So then, just as I was starting to feel well again, guess what? I got COVID again. And presumably that was mainly because I was so run down. So the initial, I'm not quite sure with that initial COVID, but anyway, it could have been 2 different strains, of course, which is why I got it twice so quickly. So what happened while I was away? Well, a few things happened while I was away. I believe Donald Trump got his ear pierced, firstly. A pet donkey named Diesel, who'd been missing for 5 years, turned up living with a herd of elk in California. Then, this is all stuff I found out while I was out, and I was watching TV a lot because I was in bed and I was watching TV a lot. There was a woman in the US who actually called 911 to report that she was stealing a car from a dealership so that she could do it legally. Guess what? She got arrested. Yep. Now, some moron actually shipped a cat across the United States in an Amazon box. Now I hope they got him I hope whoever it was, they got for pet cruelty, because that was cruel. But anyway, the cat made it survive, thank goodness, but yeah, whoever did that, they should have arrested them too. But really, really, really good things, I got an internet upgrade. Yay! So I've got fibre to the premises, which is going to be excellent. It'll mean I've got faster internet. Things shouldn't, when I'm doing live streaming and or recording, I shouldn't get little freezes and things. But don't get too excited, because please remember, I've still got overhead power lines. So there's always the chance the power's just going to go out like that. So, But anyway, that's internet to the fibre. Fibre to the premises is still a really good upgrade, so that's good. What did I do while I was sick? Well, as I said, I watched a lot of TV. So what was I watching? You know that I like true crime. I binge watched true crime, and I finished up finding a particular court case, and you could watch it live. And you could actually watch YouTubers, or lawtubers as they call them, actually commenting, watching it live. They were streaming it on their channels and actually commenting it and pausing it and then catching up on the live stream and stuff. I'll tell you what, that's where the YouTube money is. Those people were raking it in. Like 40,000 people watching a live stream. Unbelievable. Just incredible, the amount of views and things they were getting. So this particular court case was in Massachusetts in the US, and it arose from an incident that happened in a little town called Canton. And of course, I was watching this court case, which I couldn't believe that the prosecutors had actually taken it to trial because the police there were so corrupt, and the things that they were saying had happened with this. A Boston policeman died in this so-called event, and they were trying to get his girlfriend for killing him basically, and yeah, it's still going on, and yeah, I've thoroughly been enjoying that. So, and I was watching it live, which was great. Now, while I was watching that, I then came across someone called Turtle Boy, who again is getting like millions of views on his channel. He swears like a trooper. That's my only issue, the F-bomb and the C-bomb and all that sort of stuff. But it's quite funny when you're watching the law tubers. There are a few terms I learnt. Pew pew. So that's what they say for when they want to talk about a GUN. And I can't say it either because YouTube doesn't like you saying things like that. So the law tubers have come up with alternate terminology. So yeah, that's a pew pew. When someone is deceased and it's someone else has caused it, they unalive them. They don't murder them, they unalive them. Because what happens is you start saying this terminology, and for the ones that have got their channels monetized, then YouTube will turn the monetization off. You can still have the video up, depending on what the video is showing, but you can still have the video up, but you can't get paid for it. So they come up with all this terminology. And then, of course, there are things like the, SUICIDE, that's called self-deletion, I discovered. Quite interesting, actually. And if anyone that's into true crime and you're wanting something interesting to watch, this case is called the Karen Read case. And very, very interesting. Hung jury last week. It's going back to before the court on Monday to see what's going to happen next. But yeah, there's a whole heap of stuff coming next. And anyone that's watched the new season of Homicide, is it Los Angeles or LA or whatever it is, on Netflix, in the first couple of episodes, there is a prosecutor called Alan Jackson, and he is no longer the prosecutor there. He is now a lawyer who defends people, and he's actually gone from California to Massachusetts to defend Karen Read. He was her main defense lawyer. Amazing guy, really, really good to watch. And people have made musical videos, based off some of the stuff he says. And look, it's fantastic. So if you're into true crime, and check that out. It's Karen Read trial, or look up Canton, Massachusetts. But I've even been watching things like the live streams of their local, well, they call it a select board, but it's basically their local council, because they're as corrupt as all buggery too. And the stuff that's even going on with them. And to avoid actually having people, when they have meetings, the public can go in, residents can go in and speak. But they didn't want the residents, because there's been so much going on of late. Rather than have the residents go in and speak, they decided to have the meeting via live stream and did it over Zoom so that the residents couldn't actually go in person. Hysterical. What else happened? Well, of course, my Etsy and my Depop and my eBay stores all basically died while I was sick. And that was another reason I've been off air for a bit longer than, from when I started to get well again, because I actually needed to take the time to really get into them, and especially the eBay store, and try and get it built back up to where it should be. eBay is nearly there. It's not quite, but nearly there. And Depop is coming along. I've kind of ignored the Etsy store. I have had a sale on Etsy, actually, $100 book. But I've kind of ignored the store for a bit because it was taking me too much to try and do all three at once. But now that I'm getting caught up, I can pay some attention to those. The other good thing is I've got 1,000 positive feedback, which is great. So that's really, really good. I've got a red star next to my shop name, which is great. The other good thing, and which is primarily what I've been doing, variation listings, guys. Get onto variation listings. They are fantastic. Particularly if you're doing books, right? So I've actually now got over 140 variation listings. So I'm going to show you. And so here are some of my variation listings. So at the moment, I've got 141 individual variation listings, which adds up to 1,290 books. So that's pretty impressive in a short space of time. What have I got? So I've got vintage sci-fi. So I've got a lot of individual small paperback vintage sci-fi books that aren't worth a great deal. Like they haven't got super high values, but not enough of each author to make an individual listing for that author. So I've combined those into a vintage sci-fi one. Kids book series called Witch. Dork Diaries, of course, there's a lot of those. Wendy Harmer, she's been selling extremely well. If you've got any of her books, what else we got? I've only just got this one up the last couple of days. Finally, is Emily Rodder with all the Del Toro Quest and her other books. Clive Cussler, he's a mover and shaker. I'm loving his variation listings, and I'll show you some of what's sold in the last couple of months in a sec. Michael Rowbotham, and I'm not sure how you actually meant to pronounce that, if that's right or not. He's quite popular. I wish I had more of his books. Babysitters Club, of course, very, very popular. Didn't mean to do that. Little Golden Books, another one. I've got half of the Little Golden Books that I've got. I've actually got half up into one listing, and now I've got to put the other half up in another listing. And look, the thing is with the variation listings, and anyone that's tried them and thought, oh, I don't want to do that, setting up the original variation listing is the difficult part. But the best part is then when you come across another book that can go in that listing, it's so quick and easy. And that's what I've been finding. So I haven't worried about, I've made the listing and I might only have 2 or 3 or 4 books in the original listing. But then as I'm going through my books and I come across another Clive Cussler or another John Flanagan with, had the Ranger's Apprentice type books, or Trixie Belden, Janet Ivanovich, all those ones, I'm not worrying about going and trying to find them. I'm just going through my books, and as I go, when I find new ones, I can just add them in, and it takes a minute, like hardly takes any time at all to add in the new ones, and that's where the beauty of it is. Alison McLean I've got, Francine Pascal's Sweet Valley High, they are okay. Large print novels I've got a separate one for. I've just put up the John Marsden one. They're only the paperbacks. I've still got all the hardcovers to go. I'm going to put those in a separate one. Robert Muchmore is good. Jonathan Callum is very popular. Terry Pratchett. John O'Grady, who's actually whose alias was Nino Carlotta, his books have actually sold quite well too. James Herbert, Dennis Wheatley, Raymond Feist, the Babysitters Club's graphic novels, I've put those in a separate one. And then I've got one for Robin Hodd, who's Megan Lindholm, and I've put those in the same listing. So regardless of which pseudonym is going under, or she's going under, they go in the same listing. Meg Cabot, Animorphs have sold some of those. Frederick Forsyth, the 39 Clues, I don't think I've sold any of those yet. The Choose Your Own Adventure ones, again, I've only just put those up in the last couple of days. They're getting a bit of attention. Got one for Frank Herbert. Pony Pals, I've sold quite a few Pony Pal books. I've got a horror one, but they will, as I'm coming across more books that are of some of the authors that are in there, I will make individual listings. So I'm about to make today, I'll be making a separate variation listing for Robin Cook, for example. Sesame Street books, Agatha Christie, the film and any paperbacks that are movie tie-ins, I'm doing one for those. Pokemon, Holy Web, Star Trek, Hardy Boys, EJ12, Girl Hero, Sue Grafton, classic literature like, the Penguin classics and stuff like that. I've got those in a separate one. Dean Koontz, Beast Quest, I've sold a few of. Miss Fisher from Kerry Greenwood, I've sold some of those. Mary Higgins Clark only went up yesterday. Yeah, so as you can see, and then I've got like romance books from a particular publisher. I put all those in one because you can only put so many in the one listing, which I think might be 50. But you don't want to make it too hard. So you got your Alfred Hitchcock there. What else have we got? Dashner, Saddle Club. Did I say that one before? Kira Cass. Enid Blyton, I've got a few of. The Husband Early Readers, I've done a separate one for. X-Files. Derek Landry's Skullduggery books. Stephen Donaldson, and on and on and on and on and on and on it goes. Geronimo Stilton, Danielle Steele, Tim Winton books. Dav Pilkey kids books. The Wimpy Kid books, I finally got those up. Freak Street's another one. Child Horizons was a good one to put in there in a separate one. And I've started doing some for different authors within the Mills and Boon, John Roberts. There you go. Got a few of those. And on the final page, how many have we got on here? I've got some Barbara Cartland there. Dana Palmer. The Horrible Geography series. Puppy Place. Horrible Histories, and Ando, Bill Myers, the Tom Gates books, Pen Pals, Morris Gleitzman, Garth Nix, Robert Ludlam, etc., 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 and on and on and on it goes. Some of them I still have to update the thumbnails because I'm going to do them all like this now. But yes, I'll show you some of the ones that have sold. So this is a new one that I've got to post today, which is, because they're all packed up, ready to go. I've just got to take them to the post office. Wendy Harmer, and this is the second lot of books of hers I've sold. So yeah, they're selling quite well, and which is good. So there was 3 of those. Then we've got Dork Diaries. There was 3 of those. Clive Cussler, he's been the big surprise. So this one was 1 for 6. So they got 6. And these ones are on buy 2, get 1 free. So it's good. Works out well. Someone did buy one single Wendy Harmer one, which, like $6.88 plus post, but it's still getting sent. I'm not sending it in a something that hasn't got any protection. So I'm still sending it in a padded mailer and they have to pay the post for that. John Flanagan, again, someone only bought the one of those. John Kellerman, someone bought 2 of. John O'Grady, there was 5 of. The Babysitters Club graphic novels. More Clive Cussler. I think that was another 6 lot. 1 of the Cordon Bleu Cookery Course. These ones were good. The leisure sexy books with the very sexy covers on them. So I reckon, because all the covers are quite similar for these, I reckon this person's bought them for the covers as opposed to buying them for the for the read. I could be wrong. But yes, they sold. Danielle Steele, I've sold heaps of hers. There we go. That was 6 there, I think. The Babysitters Club. What were those ones? Enid Blyton, Beast Quest. As I said, I've sold a few of those. The Australian series. I think I've only got a couple of those left now. I need some more. Agatha Christie. Animorphs, Babysitters Club. More Babysitters Club. More Babysitters Club. That was the large prints seem to be only selling in singles. But, I'll just still leave them up as they are because it makes no difference. More Pony Pals, some Virginia Andrews, James Patterson, and classic tales. So if you've got like Scholastic classics or the classic tale books like these ones, that came out, and you've got all similar ones, put them in a variation listing, because I've sold 2 lots of those. James Dashner, and yeah, so that's sort of like what I've sold. Well, that is May. So June, yeah, May and June, pretty much that's what I've sold in those. So yeah, I'm selling quite a lot and getting through them and getting some room on my shelves, which is fantastic. So I just thought I'd show you those. And I did notice that Blake is now back on YouTube again, moved into his house, doing wonders. Boy, Lisa and Blake, you've done wonders with that house, and I'm loving seeing all the stuff that you're doing, and all the very impressed that you're doing all the making your own butter and making your own bread. Very, very impressive. I just do have to say though, Blake, your cat doesn't purr all everywhere, which I think was what you said in one of the videos. It sheds everywhere. So it's shedding fur, not purring fur. Okay? Just thought I'd better say that. Oh, and as for my friend Octo and his little minion, what is going on with you? How is it possible that your blood pressure is worse than my blood pressure? Honestly, what's going on? You need to get that sorted out, because yeah, you really do need the ADHD meds. I've been taking them for years, and I'll be interested. I noticed Back from Burnout has put up a new video saying that she's now on them, so that will be interesting. I must watch that video and see what effect. Oh, maybe I'll put myself back on live stream. There we go. That's a bit better. Sorry, I forgot that I hadn't put myself back. Yeah, I noticed Back from Burnout. Mel has put up a new video about taking ADHD meds, so I will be interested in watching that and seeing what the go is there. And look, I thank you all so much for all the wonderful messages and things. And I'm sorry I didn't reply, but I just didn't have the strength physically or mentally to answer all those messages and stuff. I was just so sick. I like the sickest I've ever been, I think, in my life. So, yeah. And the trouble for me is my body's cracking up. Like, I'm going to need a hip replacement soon. So my body's cracking up. It's old, but my head thinks I'm only 35. So I'm not doing very well coping with all this being sick and not doing very well. But yeah, I'm going to string my hip out. I'm on painkillers now, and I'm going to string my hip out till next year, because there's no way knowing, after being as sick as I was and out of action for as long as I was, between the back surgery and then all being sick for this long, I don't want to be laid up again or have to go to hospital again. So I am not having surgery. I'm just going to take painkillers and, probably get addicted to those or something, Or maybe I'll just smoke some, I better not say that word either. The stuff that you smoke, I'll just smoke some of that. Adam, what do you think? But yeah, look, thank you all so much, really and truly. And I really do mean that. It's meant the world to me. I'm still amazed that I've got members. Still got 20 members on my channel, and that's just amazing. I got 3 new ones in the last 30 days, or 2 new people. I've lost 3, but I gained 2. So I've still got 20 members, which just amazing for the support that you've given me. I really, really appreciate it. And I mean, I dare say you weren't going back and, I mean, you might have rewatched some of my videos, but you wouldn't have been rewatching a lot of my videos, because it's not like they would have been very entertaining. But yeah, look, might make some more interesting, entertaining videos in the future. But I just wanted to pop in, give you all the general rundown of what I'm doing. And I will be getting back to making some videos, which this is the first one. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye now.